Alright, so continuing on here in 1.3 in trig on quadratics. Let's see what else we got here. And we finished up that problem from before.
We don't need no stinking budget.
Example 9, using the quadratic formula there. Here's A, here's B, and here is C. So once again, it doesn't matter how big the numbers are, it doesn't matter if you can factor, it doesn't matter if you want to complete the squares, doesn't matter anything. Here's what matters. What matters is as long as you remember the formula, so you just plug it in. So it's a negative 30 needs to go in. So it's negative 30. Negative 30 squared minus 4 times 9 times 25 divided by 2 times 9. So you fill everything in. Negative, that's a positive 30. This becomes 900. Negative 4 times 9 times 25 is negative 900. 2 times 9 is 18. So you actually get root 0, and root 0 is just a 0. So all you end up with is 30 over 18, which simplifies after you take a 6 out of each of them to 5/3. And that's it. Some calculators, some people who don't know, you can even put a program in on the calculator. If you want to look that up online, that will do the quadratic formula for you if you know what your A's, B's, and C's are.
Think of the fun you'll have taking Barbie and Ken on dates.
Okay, so solving this. I know you're wondering why in the world are we doing this problem with quadratics, so let me show you here why. Remember to find common denominators. So I'm going to factor the bottom. This is a difference of squares, right? And that's an x and that's a 3, so I can rewrite that as x minus 3 and x plus 3. Because this is a minus 3 and this is a minus 3, I need to multiply this one by minus 3 and minus 3 on the top and the bottom. Because this one has a plus 3 and this one has a plus 3, I need to multiply this one by plus 3 and plus 3 on the top and the bottom. So finding common denominators, and here's what I get. So the bottoms are now all the same, and the tops, I need to FOIL them out basically. So 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times 3 is 6x. 5 times x is 5x, 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and I still have the 36, and once again, we don't need to worry about the bottoms. So, since the bottom's the same, we forget about that and worry about the top for right now. So I have my top set equal. There it is. Combine my like terms. A 6x plus a 5x, that is 11x. So I move everything onto one side because it's a quadratic. I end up with 2x squared plus 11x minus 51. So let's use the quadratic formula to solve this, because if you can't see something off the top of your head, you should probably just use the quadratic formula if you can't factor. What I mean is like, boom, there it is. So this is A, B, and C. So A, I put that in for A. B, I put that in for B. And C, I put that in for C. This is a negative 11. 11 squared is 121. Negative 4 times 2 times negative 51 is 408. 2 times 2 is 4. Add those two together. You get 529. So the square root of 529 happens to be a nice number. That's 23. So really it's negative 11 plus or minus 23 over 4. So negative 11 minus 23 and negative 11 plus 23 over 4. So I have two set up here. So this one ends up giving you negative 34 over 4, which is negative 17 over 2. And this one ends up giving you 12 over 4, which is 3. So your answers are negative 17 over 2, which is negative 8.5, and 3. Those are your answers.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Alright, but we said you got 7 over 2 and 3 were the answers, but let's take another look. Can you plug those in? If I put a 3 in here, 3 minus 3 is 0, I get a 0 on the bottom. That will not work. Because it won't work, I can't have 3 as an answer. 3 does not work when I plug it in because I get zeros on the bottom right there. See? Doesn't work. So because that's undefined, 3 is not an answer. So the only thing that does work is 17 over 2, and I believe it's a negative 17 over 2 if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look here. I believe we said it was negative 17. Yep. So it's negative 17 over 2. So keep that in mind. That is a negative 17 over 2 as your answer for the problem. Negative 17 over 2. Negative 17 over 2. Okay, so a box with a square base and no top is to be made from a square piece of tin, cutting out a 3-inch square from each corner and folding up the sides. So this was a square. That's what they're saying. We cut out 3 inches from each corner. The box is to hold 45 inches cubed. What size piece of tin should be used?
Beat me up.
So the entire length of the box is X minus the parts cut off, because what I mean by that is this center is X. I don't know the length of this little center, but I do know the lengths of each of these. So the entire length would be X minus each of those, and that would be like saying X minus 6. Okay, so that would be the length and the width of each of those. So I know the length and the width. I know the volume is 48 inches because we want to hold 48 inches. And I also know the height because if I fold up that edge of the box, that edge will be 3. So literally this is what I'm looking at. So I need to basically FOIL. So when I do that, I get x squared minus 6x minus 6x plus 36. Which when I combined after foiling, that's a minus 12x plus 36. And now I need to take that 3 through to everything. So when I do that, I end up getting 3x squared minus 36x plus 108. Since it's a quadratic, I need to get everything onto one side, so I'm going to move that 48 over. And now I have 3x squared minus 36x plus 60. So to solve this, I can do the quadratic formula. This is b, so that's why I plugged it in there. This is a, which is why I plugged it in there. And c is 60. So negative 36 is positive. That is positive 1296. That's a negative 720. So square root of 576 is 24. So I have 36 plus 24 and 36 minus 24 over 6. So I get 60 over 6, which is 10. And I get 12 over 6, which is 2. So I get 10 and 2 as an answer. Now, how do I know which one works and which one doesn't? Well, it can't be 2 because it will be giving you a negative length and width. So that's why 10 has to be the answer to that problem. And by that, what I mean is look back at the original here, because maybe this will help you to see it with your diagram. If I plugged a 2 in here, 2 minus 6 for the whole length of that side, I would end up with a negative 4 as my length. That won't work. If I plug in a 10, the whole length of that side is a 4. So what that means is I have a 4 by 4 inch piece. That would work, okay, to give me what I need. But if I plugged in a 2, that would be a negative 4 by negative 4, and you can't have negative lengths there. So keep that in mind. And when I come back here, I will continue, and we can finish up hopefully 1.3.